Hey guys, welcome back to Maple Syrup Tech. So today we're going to be learning how to open so that we can clean and possibly repair Famicom cartridges. We've done NES controllers, we've done Nintendo games, now we're going to look at Famicom cartridges. Because for any of you vintage gamers out there, you know that basically Japan got way more NES games than we did, well, what they call Famicom over there. So there are quite a few exclusive games. This is one of them, which is the Mystery of Convoy, which is actually a Transformers NES video game. And they also have a lot of games that are much cheaper if you get the Famicom version versus the North American version. Of course, you need converters or systems that can play Famicom cartridges, but at the same time, it's a lot cheaper to get those games, and a lot of them don't even need any knowledge of Japanese, because the games are simple enough where you don't actually need to read text at all. So, without further ado, let's start first by learning what tools we need to get this cartridge open. So, here we are. Opening Famicom cartridge actually really doesn't take many tools. It actually only takes one. I'm here on the table. You can see a quick grip, which is a tool you can buy in any hardware store. You can also use a vise. The only reason I personally prefer quick grips to vices is number one, they're smaller and easier to set up. You don't actually need a stand often. And number two, they're easier to find with rubber or plastic pads. Because basically, if you're using a vise with metal pads, I really recommend you put like a towel or something in between the cartridge and the pad, just because as you don't want to damage the plastic on the Famicom cartridge. And the only special element you need about it is that you need to make sure that the vise or the quick grip opens by at least 4.5 inches. I've bought this one specifically for opening Famicom cartridges because, as you can see, the opening at max is exactly 4.5 inches. So it's perfect for lining up those cartridges without having to fiddle around too much when you're getting ready to open them. So in the next step, we're going to look exactly how we go about opening these cartridges. So once you've got it in your quick grip or your vise, this is how you want it lined up. You want to make sure the pads are contacting only the front part of the cartridge, and basically you want to set them up about exactly as you see here, which is about, I would say, like 1/4 of an inch from the bottom. And like I said, the most important part is that the pad has to contact really only the top part of the cartridge, because this is where we're going to want to apply the pressure. Because basically there's hooks on the top part of this cartridge here which hook into the bottom part. By compressing on both sides, we're going to pop those hooks open. And from this point on, all it is applying steady pressure. And don't be scared, it might take a lot till you hear a pop like this. And there you go, you've got your cartridge open. So what you can do then is simply remove the quick grip. And as soon as you've got one side open like this, it's just a simple job of popping it open on both sides. And that really was the tough part. Now that it's open, it'll look exactly like the inside of an NES cartridge. You've got your PCB here. So basically that you can pull out, and don't worry too much about the orientation. There are notches here on the inside of the cassette, and basically if you line them up properly, you can't really make a mistake of putting this in the wrong way afterwards. Because basically you're going to need that notch there to line up, as you see with that little notch there. The notches will be placed differently and in different ways for different PCBs, but it's pretty much made foolproof that if you open this, you can't really put it back together properly if you didn't put in the PCB the right way. So now it's honestly the same as cleaning any NES cartridge. So we're going to be taking some rubbing alcohol first off, working on that. The inside of this cassette cartridge is actually pretty nasty, so we're going to be taking some tools for cleaning that as well. We're probably just going to wipe it off. After that, I'm going to be using some WD-40 with a green scrubbing pad like for your dishes. And we're going to be really rubbing off a slight layer of the metal to make sure that we've got all the corrosion off. And we're going to be finishing after that with some white vinegar to really get the leftover residue. And basically, if you follow my NES cartridge guide, it's the exact same steps at this point, and then it's a simple game of putting the cartridge back together. So honestly, we're going to speed up the cleaning process. You can watch it, of course, and then we'll look at the end at our finished product. Now this one has some writing on the back label as well. We're not going to be removing it simply because I don't have a replacement label at this point, and I highly suspect there's no way to remove this writing without actually damaging the sticker underneath or rubbing off the writing on the sticker underneath. So we're just going to be ignoring that. This cartridge cost me 99 cents anyway from Japan, so it's not as if it's a huge loss that it has a small visual defect on the back. The front of the cartridge is beautiful, and if one day I get a replacement sticker, we're just going to replace the back part here. It'll be as simple as that. So enjoy watching the cleaning process, and then we'll see each other once the card is reassembled. We are nice, clean, and now almost 100% success rate functional Mystery of Convoy with Transformers exclusive Famicom cartridge that cost me a big 99 cents. A big reason of why I got it at this price was because of the sticker. It's not a very expensive game. It generally goes for between $5 and $10, but I picked this one up directly from Japan for 99 cents simply because of the aesthetic default with it, and the fact that the cartridge was in medium shape. And with a little bit of elbow grease, some vinegar, some 99% rubbing alcohol, and some WD-40, I managed to get this cartridge, what in my opinion is in pretty decent shape. Is it perfect? No, but for 99 cents, I can now play my way through this, Famicom exclusive cartridge and have a lot of fun doing it. So I hope this helps you guys in how to open and clean a Famicom cartridge. If you want a better description of the exact products I used and whatnot, you can always look at my how to clean NES cartridges, just because I didn't go through the kit again for those who watched my first video, just because I really wanted to focus on the difference with the Famicom cartridges, which is the opening process. So if you want to see that in more details, just check out my video and I'll really go step by step on the exact process of cleaning the cartridge. And with these two videos together, you should be good to go to get your vintage gaming collection for NES/Famicom cartridges together. So as usual, I hope you guys like these kind of videos. Leave any questions, comments down below, and I hope I'll catch you guys in my next video.